As the championship reaches its final stages, here we are back for another day's racing from Thruxton. Let's see how the main contenders fared during the first qualifying session. Well, there was very little in it, so we should be in for an excellent race.
Alrighty then, my dudes. So, this will be the beginning of the end in the TOCA Showdown. We are now in the final quarter of the championship. 6 races to go, and we begin here at Thruxton. Obviously, there is going to be plenty of wackiness, considering we are driving on the fastest track in Britain. And also to add to this, we are driving on a wet racetrack. This is going to go about as well as you might guess. I'm also pretty sure there's going to be plenty of chaos here. Even though it's only the start of the race. Well, at least I can say no one has tried to dive up the inside yet, so I can at least say I'm continuing to qualify in the top 10, as I am now just making a little contact there with one of the Hondas, and through onto these curved stretch, through here onto these flat out corners. You do basically need to go flat out in order to go through properly, and already up into 5th position now. Found 5 positions at the end of the first lap, and now take that up to 6, as I am now behind one of the Audis, and I think one of the Audis is also out in front. No wait, it's one of the Hondas actually, my correction. And just managing to avoid all of that chaos. That was a real scrimmage there. I had to basically tiptoe my way through there in order to be successful. And now one of the Audis is back out in front once again. Really hoping to not get tipped into a spin this early on, as I make more contact, this time with one of the Hondas, and I am in the grass. And I spin round. But it's fine, because I do have a 50+ point lead at this stage of the championship. So it is fair to say everyone is going to be fighting for position here, as we are heading up towards the end of lap 2. Already there has been some chaos, unsurprisingly. One of the Audis is out in front of this thing. I can afford to lose at least a few points to the 2 runners in front of me. And I think at this point I just need to rely on consistency. I'm just going to be going for points here. I'm not going to be going for the win, since I already have 14 of those up to this point in the season. Still haven't managed to crack Alton Park yet, but hopefully with time to spare, as I tip one of the runners into a spin. Wouldn't surprise me if that was Jason Plato, who I just put into a spin. But either way, I am currently running in 5th position, and we are now in the middle of lap 3 of 20 here at Thruxton. I'm also pretty sure this is not going to be too much of an ordeal for me to get inside the top 4. Hopefully the Honda in front of me will race me cleanly as we go down into the kink. Just got one chicane left to officially complete another lap this time around. A little bit of contact there with Thompson as we went through the kink, but able to get the position, and it looks as though from here, like, 4th position probably is going to be the best I can manage at the moment. But either way, there has definitely been some chaos up to this point in the race. I wouldn't think of myself to be closing in on the leaders too much. I'm just here for points. As long as I can keep scoring consistent top 5 runs at this stage, then I'm pretty sure that is what should give me the championship. Also, as long as I don't keep hitting everything that's right in front of me. Just managing to stay out of the way of the rest of the field, and there goes my teammate now, Kelvin Burt, who now leads me in the second Volvo. I've got one of the Nissans right alongside me. I think that's probably Anthony Reid, because David Leslie probably is somewhere up ahead. And oh, fuck all of you. And they basically wrecked my teammate. Even though I was trying my hardest not to do that, the AI obviously had other plans. As long as I can survive these next 2 tracks, this one and Brands Hatch, as long as I can survive both of those circuits, then Silverstone should pretty much be a fresh breeze for me. I knew I was going to lose some points at the start of the 4th quarter, but either way, it is good to know I've built myself up to such a phenomenal lead at this stage. It's becoming pretty obvious now that we are going to be seeing some swings in these next couple of races. I also have a feeling Menu is probably leading this race, but if he isn't, then I can definitely say the Audis must get around Thruxton very well. Very well indeed, in fact. As I just put Plato into the barrier there, as a result of him basically wrecking my teammate earlier. I really don't care who you are, because, well, in all honesty, that was justice. I knew very well the only way I could really show him what he did to effectively demoralize the position my teammate was running in is if I just crashed him back. And yes, I can say I did that for the team, because I would actually like to see my teammate running good in this final quarter. He might even get a top 5 finish before this is all over. But anyways, so running into 6th. I think the leaders by now have pretty much pulled away. Of course, I'm just here to score points, hoping I can actually get a lap in this time. Okay, that's about where I'd expect my overall lap pace to be. And because the AI have been contradictory with their finishing positions, it's one of the main reasons why I've got such a huge lead at the front of the field now, at least in terms of being at the top of the championship. it's simply just been my overwhelming consistency. I think I've even overwhelmed myself with the amount of insane dominance and consistency I've managed to put up in the first 3 quarters of the season. And now it looks as though that trend is only going to continue, as I am now closing in on the Honda of James Thompson once again, as we head through the kink, able to keep the car under control. Of course, I did put this onto low sensitivity in order for me to keep a hold of this car whilst I am here at Thruxton, because I know if I didn't have this on low sensitivity, then I would be in a much worse position compared to where I currently am. As I am now 15 seconds behind the Audi in front of me. So I'm going to assume Menu is the leader. The Nissan must be in second, probably of Anthony Reid, and the Audi is third. Meanwhile, I am here running in fourth. There's nothing I can really do about Menu's pace at this stage. I don't think I'm gonna get myself up to the leaders, but if I can at least come out of here with a top 5 finish, then, you know, what have I got to lose? I have been consistently dominant up to this stage of the season. I could very well be on my way to potentially scoring a podium here if I'm catching up to the Audi ahead of me. I really cannot tell if the Audi in front of me is Biela or Bintcliffe. I would say it's probably Biela because he is technically regarded as being the qualifying master. I am going to assume Menu must be leading this race. So, I am going to lose at least 5 points coming out of the first race. Although technically I did come into this race with a 56-point lead anyway, because that's just how much better I've been. And I can confidently say that because my dominance up to this point in the Showdown has certainly ironed its way through this championship in the best part of about a week, because only a week ago, in fact, I restarted this whole thing and made the switch from Audi to Volvo, and this is part of the reason why I've benefited from doing this hugely, because I'm already right behind Biela in the Audi, and I think it's only going to be a matter of time before I manage to get past him. I will be amazed if the Nissan is leading this race, but either way, I won't know for sure until I get to third, because then it will tell me if it's either the Nissan that's in front or if it's the Renault. And while knowing me, it's probably the Renault. But either way, doesn't matter because, well, oh, it's Bintcliffe. Anyways, up into third position now. At the end of lap 10, we are now halfway through this race, and yep, unfortunately Menu is the leader of this race. I'm going to lose at least 5 points off my astonishing lead, and I am now closing in on the Nissan ahead of me, but I'm not going to leave anything to chance at this stage, because there are going to be some more rolls of the dice before this race is done. I can basically guarantee that. But anyways, running in third, looking to see if I can close in on the Nissan of Anthony Reid, who I think is just up ahead of me, and apparently it might be the Renault is also just up ahead of me, so could I be on my way to potentially scoring another win here? I don't want to sound too confident at this stage, but I might be able to contend for the lead here. If I can hold on long enough. But anyways. Oh, never mind. Anyways. I'm gonna reverse before I wreck someone. So glad to say that was not in a high-speed part of the circuit, because if it was, then I'm pretty sure I would have just caused mayhem. And at this stage of the season, I don't want to do that. I just want to make sure I get to the end of this thing and I still have a shot by the end of the day, and the Audi spins me out again, which is frustrating. I wouldn't say it's infuriating, but it is frustrating because I'm trying to go for positions here, and yet the AI seem to be denying me those positions. So this Audi is not being very helpful. And just to prove my point, I am going to just put him in the wall there, just to show I did not have appreciation for that. But anyway. So running in third once again here at Thruxton. It looks as though this might be the best position I can score here. I know there's going to be at least a couple more mistakes before this race is said and done for. Menu is basically going to go onwards and win race 1 regardless of the turnout. But for me at least, I'm glad to say I'm running in the top 5. I'm basically right where I need to be. I will happily take third place any day of the week, with the lead I already have up to this stage of the championship. And I know I'm going to be blocked by back markers, but either way, I'm not here to win, I'm just here to keep scoring points, as many as I can, and hoping at the end of the day it gives me the championship to show for it. But anyway, I am right behind the Nissan once again of, I think, Anthony Reid, although it could be Leslie, as he is still having trouble with these back markers. Got one of the Peugeots now up ahead of him, who I spin out. Don't really care. He's not fighting for points. And we can both see the Astra of John Cleland right up ahead of us. As we now head down into the final corner here, I move Cleland into the wall just so he can get out of the way. And Menu is still just up front. And we both wreck. Am I surprised to see that? No. I kind of knew that was going to be a desperation attempt from Anthony Reid as we went through the corner. I think Menu has pretty much certified his dominance in this race. Of course, I am driving around here in pretty much a wrecked race car now. Unsurprising to see all the damage it's taken here at Thruxton. Of course, this is the fastest track on the BTCC schedule. I seem to be closing in again, but I don't think I'm going to catch him in time, because I think that lead is a bit too much, unless he's being held up by lapped traffic, but at this stage, I doubt it. Anyways, clearing one of the Fords now, and putting him a lap down, and Menu seems to be pulling away from me, so I am going to lose a couple of points to him, but it's obviously not going to be too many unless the chaos really starts to set in. But either way, I just need to keep ascertaining whatever results I can get, and hopefully for these final 6 races I can manage to come out of here with some reasonable finishes. Of course, I'm not saying all of them are going to be top 5 finishes, and oh, god damn it. Yep. Really cannot say I'm surprised by that. And now I've dropped down to 4th. And I thought for sure that was going to make my day a whole lot worse, but somehow it didn't. And correction, I now have Bintcliff right on my ass, who is going for a manoeuvre that was never going to work. I basically knew something like that was going to happen once I made contact with the Vauxhall. I basically knew that was going to result in pandemonium, but at least I can say I'll be able to salvage a good number of points out of this. I just need to have good point days from this moment on. It looks as though 5th position could be the best position I could score here at the end of the day. I also hope my teammate is somewhere in the top 6, even though he was wrecked by Plato earlier on. I can afford to have at least 1 mulligan at this stage, maybe even 2. This probably is going to be one of those mulligan races, but at least I can say I'm running in the top 5. I just need the points in order to prove I can still do it. I am closing in on Jason once again. I think Menu by now has probably already dragged himself out to a somewhat unassailable lead at this stage of the race, unless Anthony Reid manages to catch him, but I doubt it. And now, it would seem as though 4th position is going to be the best I can hope for. Closing in on Plato and getting that position like taking candy from a baby. And I am now up into 4th position. And basically, it would seem as though this is going to be the best I can hope for. This race has definitely been a wacky one. And it is fair to say we've definitely had more than our fair share of crashes in this race to prove it. This car basically looks like it's just survived a war zone, and I am glad to say I'm back up into the top 5, as I can now see a Honda just up ahead of me. Something tells me I might be able to get 3rd at the end of this thing, unless I get wrecked. But either way, I'm in it for points. Getting as many points as I can score, and the Honda basically wrecks both of us, but I am able to take the least amount of damage from that tangle. And I can now say it's put me up into 3rd position. So, 3rd position at the moment looks to be the best I can score. I don't think I'm going to catch up to the Nissan ahead of me. But if I can come out of here with a top 5 finish, and hopefully without any further chaos than what's already ensued, then this should be a good points day. For me, and hopefully for Volvo also. Oh, god damn it. And I'm now in the pits. This definitely means I'm going to lose positions now. Somehow I don't. At least not until then. But anyways. Somehow I went into the pits by accident, and yet, in spite of all that, I still came out in 3rd. I guess that just goes to show how much better I've been than the AI up to this point of the season. Yeah. You know what, Jason? You know what, Jason? I'm just gonna let you through. Just go by me. So I don't have to meddle with your on-track results any further. Although that Honda is closing in. I'm going to try and clear the Honda whilst I'm here. Even though I honestly doubt I'll be able to clear both of them. But I am prepared to at least try and clear the Honda, who is trying to go for a dive bomb. And there goes the other Honda of Thompson, I think that was. Yeah.
Victory in the end then for Menu, who drove a superb race. Here's a rundown of the final placings.
And it was Anthony Reid who finished 2nd in that race in the Nissan. Let's go Nissan for their 2nd placed finish. So Menu does win. I braked right before the start finish line just because I did not want to spin. And Plato did beat me at the line just because of that. And then we had the 2 Hondas ahead of my teammate, and Bintcliffe in the Audi. David Leslie was 9th, and Frank Bieler finishes 10th in the Audi, and Patrick Watts, of all people, was just outside the points. Well off the points, but he finishes right on the cut line of the points. Anyways. That is 1 race down here at Thruxton. I can definitely say it's lived up to its wild card reputation so far, and I would imagine the 2nd race is more or less going to be the same. So without further ado, let's head to the 2nd race.